welcome back to Dahckram Studios. I'm Mark Lee, and today we're going to unbox, which we've already done. Did you like that intro? That stop motion unboxing saves a lot of time. Got everything ready to go. It's the first time I stop motion attempt, so let me know how you think. It's not too bad for a first try. So what we got here is a 360 unboxed already. 360 ONE R. This kit I got came with this bike kit, which includes a chest plate and some other little mounting bars, and if you saw, tons of other little connectors and whatnot. Just a bunch of them, all kinds, little plates. Don't know how them are, but anyway, there's a handlebar mount, all kinds of fun stuff. Anyway, it also came with this Insta360 selfie stick, the invisible selfie stick. This is the original one that it goes this far, and I also got with the kit the other one here, which I'm knocking stuff over. This is the newer one, which is a little bit shorter, and it's straight up telescopic, and you can see the difference between the two in size, maybe. But this one's got a lock and twist system to keep it open, and this one's just straight up telescopic. But they both do essentially the same thing. One's just a little bit longer. All right, so onto the camera. We've got you've seen probably other videos besides mine, but this is a modular camera system. It's got pull apart, plug in little sections or modules, and this is the 360 module, and this is just the action cam module. So the battery just snaps on the bottom. Got the battery like this, just snaps right on there. And then to do anything, you can't really use it or mount it anywhere without this cage, which it comes with a cage. And it's got a little switch. You flip the switch and lift the door. When the door's open, then you can open the front of it. And then you basically, you can see there's a power button or the record button there. You just drop the camera right in there, close the front, and snap lock the door. So now you can mount it to things. So let's just show you here. Now also, the kit I got extra is this little adapter, which is for hooking up an external microphone, which you can hook up the external microphone behind this little door, which also behind this little door, if we can see in there, behind this little door, this is also the charging port. There's a USB-C, but you can also put in your SD card there. So the SD card, I have these SanDisk 128 gig extremes. They're like 24 bucks or 19 bucks sometimes on sale. But let's go ahead and put an SD card in here. I've never actually turned this camera on yet, so right off the bat we're going to be doing the firmware updates. So let's see if I can get this in here in the cage. Alright, I'm going to try to push my finger down in there. And alright, it's in. So in this cage, now that we've got this USB-C microphone adapter to plug in here, goes in there. The only drawback is the default cage from Insta360 has no way to mount any microphones. Now they sell a cage now, of course, for another $30 that has a hot shoe, or a cold shoe actually, on the top of it, and you can mount it. But if you want to mount a microphone like this Rode Micro, you got the Rode Video Micro, you have 0 places to mount it. There's workarounds though, which you could buy the Insta360 cage, or better yet, because with the cage, the Insta360, the cold shoe's right here. If you were to use a microphone, this is probably gonna get in the way if you had on the windscreen. So my workaround, which I've used on other devices, is to buy this right here, which is super cheap on Amazon, $14, $14.95. It's a Ulanzi triple cold shoe connector. So you can just put this right on a selfie stick, then put your camera on here. And then from there, you can mount this way off to the side end if you wanted to. And then plug it in. So now you've got your microphone, which more than likely is going to get in the way of the lens, and it's still going to work. It's close enough. And that's only $15 for this setup here. $15 versus $30. You can decide on what you want to do on that, but that's just a little helpful hint. All right, so like I said, I've never turned this camera on before. Let's do it. Let's get this stuff out the way here. All right, so we've got the SD card in here. I'm going to put this back on here. It's a little wonky how it goes on there, and it might be hard to do with the case on. You have to, there's an arrow, a little arrow right there. That's the way it goes in first. So it's going to be hard to do with the cage on. I'm going to take the cage off. See, this is what you do. This is how you learn. Speed bumps. I do all my stuff live. So let's take this guy out of the cage real quick to get the little side thing back on. Come on. That's going to be... There we go. Don't take that off when the cage is on. Then you're going to not be able to get the cage off unless you put this back in. You get put in a catch-22. So I guess we're going to have to try to get this back in. All right, I did it. Didn't have to take the cage off, but regardless, now you know. Don't take that off with the cage on, or it's a pain in the butt to put it back in there. All right, so snap this back on. Let's mount this little guy up. You got to have a really, really strong ball head. This is a heavy camera, so you got to make sure you get a really good one like I have right here. Otherwise, it's going to break whatever you put it on. Just kidding. All right, so this is overkill, but this is my little mount that I made to do videos like this where I can mount things. Like I got my cell phone mounted, I got this camera, but I can mount all kinds of other little devices to show the screen with the camera above my head. So let's get this thing fired up. First thing we got to do is install the app, so let's do that first. All right, so let's get this app installed here. First thing we're going to do is go in the App Store, and we're going to search for Insta360 ONE R. So let's do INST, let's try it right, INSTA space 360. All right, there we go, ONE R. So let's install that up. First, Zillow 3D Home Tours beats Insta360 ONE in the search. All right, so let's get Insta360 ONE R. Got to see my face. Recognize my face, phone. Oh man, I'm gonna have to stick my head in the camera. There we go. It's installing. As soon as it installs, I'll be right back. Alright, so now the app's done downloading. That's a 431 meg app. That's a pretty big app, so good thing I got that 1 terabyte iPhone. Alright, we're firing up the app. Sure, allow while using app location. Would like to use Bluetooth. Okay, sure, you can use Bluetooth. Alright, send me notifications. I'll turn them off if I don't like them. Alright, so we're in the app here. Let's go ahead and fire up the camera. I can't see the on button, so alright, here's the power button. Turn it on for the first time. Battery was already charged. I did that before we did the video here. Alright, it is on. Looks like we've got firmware version 1.07 that flashed on there. I believe they're way up on there. Alright, so yes, I am language English. Install the app to connect camera to activate. Alright, so we got the app installed. Let's see what we may do next. Settings, probably not. We want to log in. There we go. Here's a login. We're going to log in. I've already made an account there, so let's see if I can get in there real quick. I might have to pause you for a second here. Let's see. I'm going to have to look up my password. Alright, so now we got the app installed, and now I finally got it logged in, and we're going to continue. So we're going back to language. The camera shut down while I was dicking around trying to get logged into the site, but now we're on. So let's see what we can do here. Install the app and connect. So let's try to connect the camera. So I'm logged in. Firmware version, camera not connected. Right off the bat, it's not showing me anything spectacular here about connecting the camera. Profile. Alright, let's go back to the home page. I'm going to hit camera. Okay, here we go. Thing's going to shut down again. We'll say connect now. Let's see if it can connect. I know there's a lot of people that have problems right off the bat trying to connect. And let's turn off this cell phone. Rule number 1. Put everything to sleep. Vibrate. Alright, so it searched for camera. I see 1 R max. There it is. I'm hitting my camera. I'm assuming that's it. It is still searching for camera. I hit the 1 max and there we go. It sees that it found it, so it needs to update our firmware. So we're going to start downloading the firmware. They're up to 1.1.30. So I knew right off the bat we would need to update the firmware. Straight from the factory, it's old. So we're downloading the firmware. See if that takes as long as downloading the app did. Alright, so once again, I'm gonna, as soon as the firmware gets done, I'll come back to you. Alright, so mess up number 1 here. We got network error, where I know my Wi-Fi is cranking. There's nothing wrong with that, so don't know where it's coming from, if it's coming from China, coming from the Apple Store, but it crapped out once, so let's see if it can make it through it this time. Alright, so that's 2 times that it's crapped out the network error, so let's try again. Maybe 3rd time's a charm. I know, oh, now it's cranking. I know my Wi-Fi is good. Burying the needle. 300 megabits. I don't know, maybe my internet was dicking up for a second. Didn't seem like it, but now we got to connect the camera because, of course, while waiting, the camera turned off. So let's connect camera to update firmware. Searching for camera, connecting. First connection must be confirmed on the camera screen. So now we are confirming, and they're talking back and forth. that's a plus, considering a lot of people have problems this first time. Alright, so Insta wants to join. Sure, join your own little network. Latest firmware downloaded. Connect the camera to update the firmware. Alright, do it. Update the firmware. Now the firmware is updating. Uploading. It's moving right along. This is checking the firmware here. Alright, 100% uploading. Hit next, see what if it does anything. There we go. Confirm, uploaded. Alright, we confirm. Waiting for camera to complete the firmware update. So I guess we have to wait if the camera's going to do something. I don't know if it's restarting or if it just shut down again. I'm going to confirm. Let's try to connect again. Connect. Guess it's still completing the firmware update. Here we go. It just beeped. Starting over again. Language English. Yes. Alright, so let's do the connect and activate. There's the camera. Let's hit the camera. And we want to join their little camera network. Activate my camera. So now I'm activated with Insta360, and now we can finally start. Alright, there's live video of the camera. So we can turn it up here probably. And there's my lights and the rest of my setup. Anyway, alright, there we go. We've done the first steps of getting your Insta360 ONE R going by firing it up, installing the app, updating the firmware. So the next thing is to play with the camera. So let's go ahead and do that next. Alright, so right off the bat, I guess I'm going to peel off these stickers before we go play. Let's take this off and turn this guy around. Oh, there's my overhead camera. You can see how I got that rigged up over there. Anyway, alright, so let's aim this at me, I suppose, right here. A little bit of latency in the app. You can control everything from the camera, but I'm just going to aim this at me right now. Alright, so let's see here. You got different modes here. You got 4K 60, 30, 25, 24, and 4x3 30, and it scrolls left and right. You've got 4K 25, 4x3, so there's 4x3s, and then it goes up to 2.7K 60, 1080p, so yeah, it's got, I don't know why I didn't want to film in 2.7K, but anyway, we're going to do 4K 30 is probably what I'm going to film most of the time. So let's see what else we got here. We got different modes of the lens, which I'm just doing this from the cell phone app. We got ultra wide, which gives you that look that you can see. I'm assuming you can see this little monitor here. Maybe I'll hit record and do that. Let's go back. I don't know if it'll let me change in the middle of recording. We're going to find out. Alright, so ultra wide, I'm hitting record. Alright, so I guess we can't change any of those settings right here in the record settings. So there's a couple seconds of ultra wide, and we'll go to wide. So did that change much? Okay, yeah, it zoomed in a little bit. So there's the wide, slightly more crop, not too much. So record a couple seconds of that. Here's wide, and we'll stop that, and let's go to linear, which is everything is perfectly lined and not fish-eyed, kind of how you'd probably want it to be most of the time. At least that's how I'd want it most of the time. And also we got everything set on auto. So, and here's a couple seconds of, this is just on linear. So we'll stop that, and Again, I'm probably blowing out the lighting. That's all on auto. It looks like I'm Ghost Man, but let's go over here and change it to narrow. Okay, so this is closer in. So let's see here. We'll do a couple seconds on the narrow lens. So there's your 4 different lens options right there in the camera. All right, let's record a couple seconds. This is at 1/60 of a second frame rate, which gives you nice, good motion blur, cinematic motion blur. All right, so there's that. All right, so that's the initial stuff I'm going to do with this inside here on the regular action cam, 4K action cam lens, but I'm going to switch out to the 360 lens and just do some little stuff in here. Then we'll take the whole caboodle outside and play out there. So let's get this other lens back on here. All right, so let's break this thing down. I'm gonna get off this little ball head here, and let's take it off the tripod mount. All right, now we gotta take it out of the case. So we flip this switch and lift forward there, and then we can open the cage, pop out the camera, and now we got to, there's a little switch right here. You slide this and the battery pops off. You can pull these little guys apart. I guess I never took off that front lens sticker. I took off the back one on the screen, but I never took off the lens. But either way, so maybe that other footage might be blurry. I guess I'll see whenever we get there. So now we got our little 360 mod, and this is really why I bought the camera. I already have other action cameras, so I'm pretty much got it for this 360. So let's peel off this plastic, maybe find it. All right, we're just gonna tear it. All right, so that's off. I'm gonna leave those on until we get it all together. So without, I don't think it really matters which direction it goes. It just plugs together. So if I decide to go, oh no, I want it to go this way, I don't think it makes a hill of beans. No, it doesn't matter. I guess it's just that smart. All right, so now we're gonna put the battery back on here. So there's the battery hole, plug it in there, and I lied. See, this is why you do these live speed bump unboxings. It does matter. The plug does matter. So this has to be with the two of these little notches here, all at the bottom. So, see, real world unboxings. This is how you learn from my mistakes so you don't make them. So there we go. Now it should fit on. See, isn't that good? What if I did it the other way? Then we would never know that it could go wrong. See, that's perfect. All right, so now we got to slap this bugger back in the cage. There's the direction it goes, like this. It goes in that way. Guess what? Once again, open the door, open the door. All right, so here we go. Slide it in, and we can close the front, and we can snap this down. And now we're 360 in. All right, so let's do this. We're gonna put it on a selfie stick for this one. And you want to make sure it's as friggin' straight as possible. I know that for a fact from other videos. And you always want to use mounts that like comes with it that are straight, because some of the other GoPro ones can be offset a little. I'm sure I've got some, but not here in my hand right this second. I'll put it in the actual video what I'm talking about. But all right, so this is good to go. There, I'm going to use this little mount over here Actually, I'm going to move it. You can't see what I'm doing on this top camera. Alright, so alright, so now we got our 360 camera mounted on this little ball head. And now let's fire it on. Oh, let's go ahead and peel these things off now. You got to be very nice to your lenses. That's why they give you this little guy right here to cover your lenses. Keep them protected, because if you get a scratch on these 360 lenses, then you're going to be really sad. Basically, you just need a new module at that point if you scratch it all up. So make sure you clean them with like good microfiber lens cloths. Don't use paper towels, or especially your shirt. That'll really hose them up. Alright, so we got those peeled off. Let's go ahead and crank this guy back up again. I got the screen facing me. Let's turn it on. We're just going to do a little quick 360 test here. See how that works, and we can see it in the camera, I think. Alright, you can still see the phone good enough, I think. But it's focusing on the little camera, isn't it? I could do a screen recording, but I'm not going to. You're going to get blurry background screen there. Alright, we're connecting to the phone. We're connecting to the camera. It's connecting. Alright, yes, we want it to join the network with the camera. Now again, you control the camera 100%, everything with just the camera, but since we're in here, I got the phone set up, might as well do it. Alright, so we got a live view on the phone, which sucks that it's blurry. Let me just get the camera out, put it back over farther away here, so the camera, my overhead camera focuses on the phone, and you'll still be able to see me spinning in circles here. Alright, so I'm looking right at the camera. Alright, so let's see what settings we got with this here. Now, this records in 5.7K at 30 frames per second. But don't let that fool you. It's really the equivalent of 1080p once it's all mushed together to be the 360 video. And if you punch in on it, it gets even worse. So this is still action cammy footage. There's way better, more expensive 360 cameras that'll give you maybe 4K in the end footage, but this ain't one of them. So don't expect the most spectacular footage in the world out of any of these 360 cameras, GoPro, whatever. They're all the same. So let's see what we got here. I'm just gonna leave this on auto. I don't know. Let's record something. Just recording a short video, and I'll put it in the video whenever I edit it. So I'm assuming that you're going to see my hand on the other side and come back. Now, the stitching lines are on the side. Don't put anything close. So like you're going to see in the video I'm going to make, my hands are going to be stupid, distorted, and crappy. But I should be pretty good. Yeah, we'll see. And my hand on this side should be pretty good, but my arm in the middle isn't. So I guess now it's time to go play. Let's go outside, take this little guy on a selfie stick. I'm not going to do any 4K footage. There's tons of that out there. Probably tons of this too, but I bought it for the 360. So we're going to go ahead and take it outside, maybe drive around with it. I don't know. I'm just going to grab it and go and see what I can come up with. We're going to show you how to edit the footage and get it to the point to where I put it in this video that you're watching right now. So let's go do it.
$5
Here's a quick low light test. It's not too bad, but if the camera was moving, it probably wouldn't be as good. These next clips are all using the built-in microphone of the camera. Alright, so here we go. We're going to try this first walk here. Just walking down the street here in my neighborhood. Some bright blue skies out there and a little bit of clouds maybe. It's probably about golden hour. It's a beautiful day. So you can lift this up in there and get yourself a nice drone-y shot. You put it behind you. Get a behind you shot. Even though it's recording everywhere. I'm using a short selfie stick. So, see how the lighting is. Everything's on auto. Should be decent. Can't see the little LED screen from here. But we're going to find out when we get it back to the computer. Alright, so let's stop this one. We're going to do a drive in the car now. See how it looks inside the car. And we'll stick it outside the car. We're doing a 360 drive around. See how it looks in the car. See how it looks with the sun coming different angles. See if it blows out. Just driving through the neighborhood. People riding bicycles. We got some bright sun. See how the camera holds up in the bright sun. I'm just hand holding this in the car on a selfie stick. Driving down the 30-mile-an-hour speed limit road here. Going to another entrance. We're going to drive down to my clubhouse, where they got a big-ass Olympic-sized pool that just opened today. Freshly resurfaced. There was a lot of people down there earlier. I don't know if COVID swims, but there was a lot of people swimming. Go down there and walk to the dock. If I can ever turn here. There we go. Alright, let's stick this thing out the window. I'm going to stop it real quick. So now I'm driving down the road with the selfie stick out the window. It's a beautiful day. I'm reframing all this in the actual Insta360 app, which is probably the easiest way to do it. I'd use Premiere too for some of these things, but if you want to just do a quick reframe straight out of the camera, it's definitely the best route to take is just using their app if you want to do flat videos. The 360 videos, which I put links in the description to all of these videos I filmed here, the actual 360 spin around versions, interactive versions, so be sure to look in the description to see all of those. Alright, so now we're walking down the dock. We got the pool is open, people are swimming. It's a good thing, maybe. As I said, as long as COVID doesn't swim. Let's go out to the dock. Some of the alligators. There's a pretty lake. Nice lake scene, yay. Alright, so that's not an alligator. That's something bad floating out there. Lily pad, I don't know. Alright, so I'll stop this and we'll do one hyperlapse back to the car and call it a day done of testing. The Insta360 phone app has some pretty cool effects you can do. This one's called Clone Trail. And this one's called Stop Motion. There's a ton of them you can play around with. It almost makes it worth just owning the camera for these. They're great for social media. All right, so there you have it. A real world unboxing and setup of the Insta360 ONE R. Speed bumps and all. And it's all along with some practical sample footage that I created, which I think looks a lot better than most of the other bigger YouTubers that you know, they specialize in 360 cameras, and I think this looks as good or better than all of theirs. So let me know what you think in the comments. Now, I really think this is a pretty cool camera. It's fun and it works pretty well. The phone app is like super easy, even though there's a Chinese tick box that I have no clue what it does. But the app lets you do a lot of pretty cool creations. It's great for social media. I mean, you're gonna get the best results if the camera's just stationary versus moving around. But what fun is that? So no, 360-degree videos are not the best quality, but it definitely gets the point across in a unique manner. So even the more expensive 8K 360 cameras, even Insta360 makes them, and Qualcomm or some Qualco, QCam. Either way, there's others out there that have 8K, and they still don't look as good, because even at the, you know, they don't look as good as a 4K camera no matter what, just a normal flat camera, because just the way the technology has to map the image to a sphere. So either way, the videos definitely look good on cell phones and tablets, which is what most people use anyways, looking at videos on social media sites and YouTube. So I don't know. But before completing this video, I actually made a 10-minute 360 video on how to replace the door switch on a clothes dryer. And it's one of a kind, let me tell you. It's a classic must watch. So just click up here. Anyway, we're not going to have time to show you the editing workflow in this video. Obviously, it's like over 30-40 minutes something now, but definitely stay tuned for that one soon by hitting that subscribe button and ringing that bell. And don't forget to watch the 360 interactive versions of all the things that I did in this video with the flat version. So the links are in the description below, and also affiliate links to get yourself an Insta360 ONE R too. So that's also not two. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. And please remember to use your damn turn signals. Thanks for stopping by Dahckram Studios. Please hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell. And maybe watch another video. Have a wonderful day.